straight ahead on CTV News, the county's top leader is ecstatic about the possibility of a new luxury casino coming to Prince George's.
Plus, could President Obama's recent announcement to halt young undocumented immigrants from deportation make a difference with Maryland's DREAM Act?
There's a lot of misinformation out there. So we're going to run this like a campaign. We're going to raise money, and we're raising money. We're going to raise an organization of dedicated volunteers who are going to go out there and do canvassing in neighborhoods, get on the phones and do phone banking, educating the voter of the benefit of the DREAM Act. We've been raising money. We've been raising awareness. We've got a lot of work to do in the next 5 months to make sure we're successful in November.
Metro unveiled its new Rush Plus service. I'm Denise Douglas in New Carrollton. Tell you how it works and what it means for you ahead.
A high-end casino in Prince George's brings accolades from officials. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Sonia Chavasso. We'll have that story in a moment, but first, Rush Plus is underway. Metro commuters beware. Major rush hour changes have taken effect at nearly two dozen train stations. Denise Douglas is at the New Carrollton station to explain the new Rush Plus service and how it will help you.
For John Williams, riding Metro to work can sometimes be a nightmare.
It can be pretty tough. A lot of times the trains come and there's no passengers, so you can't get on.
Chris Manning agrees.
No air conditioning and standing room only. So it's, sometimes you have to wait for a second or third train to go by before you can get on.
But starting today, things are expected to get a bit better for tens of thousands of commuters. The transit agency has added additional trains at 21 stations on the green, yellow, blue, and orange lines. The change will help alleviate crowding on the orange line before the new silver line starts running.
This segment of the orange line between Courthouse and Roslyn was where trains were as packed as anywhere else on the system. In fact, more crowded in that segment than even on the red line, which is our busiest. For other customers, it means more trains at their station, specifically on the green line, all the way from L'Enfant Plaza all the way up to Greenbelt. Every one of those stations will see 6 additional trains an hour.
The trains will operate during rush hour from 6:30 to 9 in the morning and 3:30 to 6 in the evening. So far, Metro spokesman Dan Stessel says there haven't been any problems.
The Rush Plus trains all operated and went where they were supposed to go. So all in all, we would describe this as a successful morning.
As for Williams and other riders, they welcome anything that can make their commute a bit easier.
If it helps me get home and get to work quicker, I appreciate it.
Anything that will alleviate congestion would be great.
You can get more information on Metro's Rush Plus service by logging onto its website at WMATA.com/Rush Plus. There you'll find interactive maps as well as videos about the new service. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
All right. Thank you, Denise. The new Silver Line is expected to be up and running by January 2014. Well, County Executive Rashawn Baker says he is beyond excited that the Peterson companies, which developed National Harbor, have entered into an agreement with MGM Resorts. MGM is agreeing to build a luxury resort casino at the Oxon Hill site. But before all this can happen, the General Assembly must give its approval to put the issue up for referendum in the November election.
It was exactly what I had in mind, because people would ask, who's going to build it? Is the Peterson company going to build it, which doesn't have a history of building casinos? I said, no, we're going to get top of the line. I want $1 billion or high-end facility. And so you have MGM that steps in, and everyone knows their history and what they've done throughout the world. They're destination places. They're not slot barns, and they're not gambling places. They're a whole entertainment, and so it's a different feel. So we feel good about it. Also,
now, Governor Martin O'Malley could call a special session on gaming as early as July 9th.
You may have heard Celebration, the week-long event commemorating the bicentennial of the War of 1812, is taking place in Baltimore. Well, today, ambassadors from Great Britain and Canada joined Governor Martin O'Malley and Secretary of the U.S. Navy at Fort McHenry for a special ceremony. Hundreds of spectators braved the very British weather to mark exactly 200 years since the war's official start.
The defenders of Baltimore, Secretary Mabus, where at least 50% of us were immigrants or the sons and daughters of immigrants. In fact, 60% of the Army garrison of 100 Army soldiers stationed inside this fort were immigrants. 1 out of 5 of the defenders of Baltimore, including some of the uniformed Army soldiers inside that fort, were African-American citizens of a still as yet very imperfect country.
Governor O'Malley says from enemies to allies, Celebration is really about peace. And to mark the occasion, officials from all 3 countries signed a proclamation of peace. President Barack Obama also delivered a taped message, and the Royal Marine and U.S. Navy bands serenaded the crowd. The Prince George's Board of Education is currently considering a policy change that will leave student members out of executive sessions. Today, CTV spoke with Michael Watson, who is running for the school board position in District 4, about his thoughts on the issue.
I think that the school board, what they're trying to do now is too much, that they're trying too hard to curtail the student members' involvement. I think certainly there are issues that the student member can't vote on or should not be voting on, but I don't support keeping the student member out of the meetings. I think we have to trust our student member that they're going to keep certain things confidential. We've always done that. That's the standard practice in the metro area and in the state of Maryland. So I don't see any reason, I have not heard a good reason to change the current setup.
Last week, student board member-elect Shabnam Ahmed told CTV she wants to be a part of the closed meetings, even though she can't vote on certain issues.